Akpabio is finally begging for a slight moment. Akpabio finally fall in serious trouble in the hand of Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck have never come out to talk about all these shenanigans and the rascality that have been going on in the regime of Tinubu. You know, Goodluck have finally burst out. It's like what they did to Goodluck in the regime of Goodluck, how they protested to remove him from power. It's like Goodluck is trying to repay them now based on what is happening. Goodluck and Peter Obi have finally taken Akpabio and Tinubu himself to the international union. Come and see the allegation they leverage down, and Akpabio is forcefully going to be removed according to what Trump said. You will hear things for yourself. Akpabio is finally going. When the issue of Natasha started, a lot of people were thinking Akpabio is the alpha and omega. Now Akpabio is begging. Akpabio can even beg. You see things the way it goes. I'd like us to stay connected to the end of this video. You can share the video as you're watching and just do it to share it. Share it to different social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like the video, like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. Just stay connected and come back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG Watch TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG Watch TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, just endeavor to click the red subscription button appearing on your video screen, and at the same time click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you to know. Akpabio is finally in serious trouble at the moment. You know, when the issue of Natasha started, a lot of people were thinking Akpabio is the Lord of the Ring, because Akpabio actually presented himself as the alpha and omega as far as the case of Natasha is concerned. He couldn't even step down for the matter to be investigated. So a lot of people were actually thinking Akpabio is the sovereign lord as far as Natasha case is concerned. But Akpabio begged for himself. Akpabio never know that this can actually come to him. Moment Goodluck and Peter Obi finally took Akpabio to the international union. Now Trump is finally making a decision. You will see this the way this goes. I'll play the full video in this very video. You know, nobody ever expected that Akpabio could beg for his life. It's like what they did to Goodluck in the regime of Goodluck. You know, it's normally news that in the regime of Goodluck, they stormed the streets. Tinubu do operation shut down Nigeria and also with Buhari and all of that. A lot of APC shifters were actually present because of the protest. Now, they used that protest to actually kick Goodluck out of power. Now, that was when Goodluck actually increased fuel price from 87 naira to 120 naira. But it's like what they did to Goodluck then, Goodluck is trying to repay them back. Now, Akpabio is victim of electoral fraud and not with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You will see what Goodluck said. You will see everything that Goodluck reported to Trump and US Congress and all. You will see things the way it goes. Peter Obi put fire and outside with it. I'd like us to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share the video as you're watching it, just do what to share it. Share it to different social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like the video. Like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. You know, they finally report Tinubu that Tinubu want to turn Nigeria to one party state. They want to turn Nigeria to only APC system of government. They did not want opposition again and all of that. And the Goodluck in question is in PDP, and Goodluck remain in PDP. Now in the regime of Goodluck increased fuel price from around 87 naira to 120 naira, and things weren't that expensive as it is as it stands in the regime of Tinubu. And it was the same Tinubu that came out that mobilized all Nigeria to shut down all Nigeria. They shut down Nigeria for days in the regime of Goodluck. Goodluck did not arrest anybody, not put anybody in jail, did not use the secret operative to actually intimidate and bully or dehumanize anybody. But in the regime of Tinubu, fuel price increased to around 900 naira, and the same people cannot still do anything about it. That's what a lot of people are saying now. Peter Obi is now even putting the matter of what happened to Goodluck then in the regime of Goodluck, how they protested against him. Peter Obi is now putting the matter on head, even more than Goodluck. You will hear what Peter Obi said in US Congress. You will hear everything they said to Trump. You will see the action that they're going to take now based on the electoral fraud. You know, it's normally known that they actually accuse Akpabio of beneficiary of electoral fraud. You know, a lot of Nigerian politicians were actually beneficiary of electoral fraud, but Kasala finally burst on the matter of Akpabio. The same thing that Akpabio did, how he benefited from electoral fraud allegedly some years ago, and if think the thing have passed and if think is already enjoying the dividends of the electoral fraud and all. The same thing have finally kicked out. They investigating into the matter and they fishing out people that were actually involved in the electoral fraud that brought Akpabio to the Senate seat. Now Akpabio is on the verge of impeachment, and Goodluck is tendering the matter of Akpabio in the Congress. What they did to this man some years ago is finally coming to pay them back, because he has seen something to actually hook them. He has has seen something to actually criticize them. Come and see the shame of Akpabio and Tinubu. I'll play the full video. You see things the way it goes. If you can share the video, just share it. First of all, hear what Kenneth Okoko said. This man have said this thing some days ago, but a lot of people were thinking this man was joking, and it was the same thing that Kenneth Okoko said. That was what Goodluck went to tender in the front of Trump in US Congress and all, and that was what US has set at the moment, and they're working on the removal of Akpabio. Akpabio is finally going. This is not even sexual harassment case. They're removing Akpabio, and Tinubu is in serious trouble at the moment because the Tinubu in question did not have a cordial relationship with Trump. Unlike when Biden was there, Tinubu actually have this kind of strong relationship with Biden and all of that. But Trump is there. He actually opposed a lot of African leaders and all of that. Now they're working on the removal of Akpabio, and Tinubu cannot even help at the moment. You see this the way it goes. I'd like us to stay connected to the end of the video. If you can share it, just share it. If you can't share it, just like it. Stay connected. Hear everything the way it goes. And during the video, you hear what Goodluck said and Peter Obi himself. And Peter Obi fired into the matter and supported Goodluck Jonathan as if he was even the one that they protested against in his regime. See things the way it goes. I'm coming back again.
It's simply because of the belief that in 2027 they are going to write the results of election. Nothing else. I mean, it's an absurdity that people will see a sinking house and they are running into it for shelter.
Well, which one is the sinking house now?
APC, obviously.
Why is it a sinking house?
The World Bank report made it clear that Nigerians are going to be poorer till 2027. Have you asked yourself why they stopped at 2027? Because they know that this country is a blessed country. On the day they have very good leader, poverty will dry up. So they have given up on Tinubu's regime, that it's a government that will afflict Nigerians with hunger and hardship until it ends.
The millions who voted Tinubu think he's the best leader.
Well, the millions you're talking about, is it the million that was written or the million that came from where?
Was the election result
Have you seen?
Was it written?
Have you seen the polling unit by polling unit results from INEC for the 2023 presidential election? If you have seen, show me. That's what the law says in section 62(2)(3) of the Electoral Act. That after the election, INEC should post in its electronic server the polling unit by polling unit results of all the results of the election after it was technically glitched. Have you seen any of such results? Why? Because it was written. So people are running into a sinking house because they believe there is a magic with which the owner and the builder of the house will use to sustain the house, and that's writing results.
So all of the results that Peter Obi got in the election too were written.
Now, interesting question. We had 18,008 polling units that we showed from the IREF portal where results we are not posted at all. There is no explanation to it till today. Recall that I said that they wrote the results. The result given to Peter Obi was allocated to him. That's written. Go to Rivers State.
Who did?
Go to INEC. Go to Rivers State.
But the court says otherwise.
No, the court is not telling you they wrote or they did not write. The court is telling you you did not produce the evidence to show substantial evidence that even if you bring the ones they wrote, that it could change the system. Where will you bring the evidence? When INEC, the only institution that is in custody of such document, refused to bring it out. We were in the court. We subpoenaed them many times.
On what basis did they, according to you, did they allocate the result of Peter Obi having over 90-something% of the vote in some part of the southeast, and it has overwhelming result beating the incumbent, the president at the moment, who is also from Lagos State? He beat him very well in his own state of Lagos.
According to
is that also the part of the plan?
According to the PDP spokesperson in Lagos, he said we won by almost 1 million votes, not by Labour, in Lagos. So the mere fact that they reduced it to 10,000 difference tells you it was still written. Where is the polling unit by polling unit results of Lagos State election? And the law is that it will be unmutilated. All the results I saw in 2023 are mutilated. You could see majority of them. So it is either you are allocating somebody's result or you're removing some result from his own.
What were your agents looking at when this was going on? Because I imagine that you should have agents at the party across all of the polling units, across the thousands of polling units across the country.
Yes, that is what it ought to be. And even the Electoral Act recognizes that all the parties will not have the resources to have the agents in all the polling units. And that's why the law always uses the word may. Why do you need an agent if you are operating under an INEC that is not corrupt and that will not manipulate the results? It's not the duty of political parties to organize elections. INEC took 400 billion naira to organize election in Nigeria and came out with no results known to any human being.
So you started this conversation by saying the only reason why those who are defecting or moving to the APC are going is to guarantee
that the elections will be written in their favor, 2027.
I mean, can you say that of Delta State, for example?
From 2015, has not been able to play effective opposition, and the reason is very clear. In 1999, PDP trained itself to be only the ruling party, and they forecasted they were going to rule for 60 years. So the leadership being terminated within 16 years took them unawares and did not prepare them for the onerous task of being an opposition party. So they became a stomach infrastructure party, and stomach infrastructure party cannot be effective opposition coming to Delta State. And that tells you what I say, that Nigeria can never be one party state. I'll give you the analysis of Delta State. Recall that Senator Ned Nwoko said the only reason he wanted to go to APC is because he has a lousy governor who does not know his left from his right and who has broken all the agreements that they had. And then he said he would want to move to APC where the light is shining. Recall, there is one Oma Agege who loves to be the governor of Delta State and who has been grooming the APC and welcoming people into their fold. Recall that there is a Festus Kayamo who is not really a fan to Oma Agege. And then a governor from nowhere, from PDP, carrying all the people from PDP, moving into the same APC. Can you now see strange bedfellows? Will Ned Nwoko go and now bow to him because automatically he has become a leader of APC, even if he has been there for 24 hours? Recall that Festus Kayamo, the first tweet is to my leader. So Oborowere now is the leader of APC in Delta State. Will Ned Nwoko now go with his heart to go and bow and fall for him so that in the next election the governor will support his senatorial ambition? Will Omo Agege pocket his gubernatorial ambition because another leader has come in and may be given the right of first refusal? This is going to implode. We had such a situation in 2019 in Imo State where Rochas Okorocha wanted to put his son-in-law as governor, and APC did not like such scenario. They went and picked Uzodinma, and Okorocha went to AAC and said it was a strategic alliance, it's not anti-party. And in the gubernatorial election, he was not supporting his party, he was supporting AAC. That made PDP to win at the first round before the judicial intervention. So you will expect that APC will implode. That is for sure. You will hear the rumor. Of course, before you hear wars, you hear rumors of wars. Today it is about rumors of wars. Tomorrow it will be wars. You recall that the special advisor on political affairs to the presidency, Baba Ahmed, resigned and retired from the government of APC. And he even declared that Tinubu is not even fit to be president, that he should step aside. This is an insider. I told you it's about a house that is sinking. The World Bank has said this government is sinking Nigerians into hunger and hardship. And then you think people that are going in there are going in there. Nigerian people will be, and they will have the last say. The only thing that I am talking about will their say be allowed to stand?
Now, with your analysis, you seem to have painted yet another anarchy looming. Well, where do you see the anarchy this time around?
Well, Tinubu has been a harbinger of anarchy.
What do you mean?
Look at in Lagos State.
Is that not too heavy to say?
I always bring you facts. Look at in Lagos State. 40 members of the House of Assembly voted that they do not want a speaker. Of course, in support of the governor, because the elected female went in and solidarized with the governor, who reciprocated. And only one man, Tinubu, gave the instruction, no, I want Speaker Obasa to remain. And one veto vote was superior to 40 votes of the House of Assembly. What is that? That's anarchy. As to the state of the opposition parties, they failed from day one. They did not even wait for day two. As long as Tinubu's government is concerned, opposition parties failed from day one. Have you ever seen world over, we are in searching for the leadership of the National Assembly, every opposition person is raising his hand, endorsing the candidates that the president personally selects for the National Assembly? I remember we had a meeting in Labour Party then with the elected House of Rep members. I advised them. I said, look, if you want Nigerians to take you seriously, when you go into that house, if the ruling party brings out anybody for you to vote for, reject that person. If you don't know what to do, bring out one of you. And if Nigerians can count that 34 of you voted for that person, they will be satisfied that you're playing good opposition. Now, the 2027 election is going to be between the Nigerian people and APC. There is nothing like opposition party. I am telling you the truth. I've said it before that PDP is a servant of servants. I said it that LP under Abure is a house help of APC. Is it not happening? So the issue here is that the whole idea of democracy is not government or political parties. It's government of the people. The people cannot fold their hands and allow themselves to be terrorized by this government that understands only one language, to afflict them with hunger and hardship.
Let me ask you.
So they are going to rise.
In the moment as we have it,
yes,
that those who think Labour, the best option that Nigeria has to be able to withstand the political efficacy of the Tinubu structure and the APC that is growing in strength every day based on the defections that we are seeing, is to find a strong alliance. Maybe Peter Obi should go back to the PDP and work with an Atiku Abubakar and have a very strong northern alliance. Peter Obi coming from the south, before you can confront a Bola Tinubu or the APC in 2027. Do you imagine so?
Well, that's exactly why I told you I don't want to sign on to any political party yet, because it will be a child's play.
Will that work?
Yes, it will work.
Will Peter Obi Atiku alliance be able to be formidable?
Nelson Mandela said it always appears impossible until it happens. I may not guarantee alliance between Peter Obi and Atiku, but as we are moving to 2027, I know that there will be a coalition. Whether it will be between Peter Obi or Atiku, I don't know. But there will be a coalition. Why? Because that will be the only choice the opposition has to make.
At the moment, if there is no coalition, Tinubu is unbeatable. Is that what it looks like?
Outrightly.
Is a stroll for Tinubu into power 2027.
Just walk into it.
Can Peter Obi beat Tinubu if he has a strong northern pair?
No one single candidate can beat Tinubu alone, by whatever name you are called. And the reason is this: in Nigeria, we have entered into the unfortunacy that you will not only win, but you have to secure your victory. So you need the elites to secure your victory, even if the people vote for you. So if the elites come together like they did in 2014 to confront Jonathan in 2015, they were able to secure their victory when the people voted for them. If they were not together, they wouldn't have been able to secure their victory.
We have 30 seconds to go. What would be your biggest advice to Nigerians tonight, considering the defection that we see and opposition politics and our democracy? What would be your biggest advice ahead of 2027?
My biggest advice is that Nigerians must not despair. Sovereignty in a democracy belongs to the people, from whom every government derives its authority and powers. Hold your government accountable. Hold INEC to the Electoral Act that they must organize free and fair election where your will determine who governs you. Do not. We don't have any other country. Don't mind political parties or politicians. You can say, we want this person, we want this party, and your will be done.
If you mention your name as a young man of 30-something, 40-something, we'll tell you what you did with your father. Not so many people have that kind of memory. And even listening to all the contributors, you really see that he was a very courageous person, very focused. And one key thing, he believed in the unity of this country. But he doesn't believe that any section of the country should suffer. So these are things, and he's ready to tackle anybody at any time. If he believes that you've said something does not fit in belief about building a united Nigeria. People may see him as controversial in one way or the other, but if you listen to all his statements, it's about a country that must remain one, a country that every section, every individual should have the same treatment. These are the qualities of Ike Clark. And what I told the person who asked me the question is that we cannot replace him. All what we have to do is to make sure that we come up with annual lecture or something that will continue to advocate his own vision and philosophy. And doing that gradually, we're going to impact on the younger ones what Ike Clark stood for. We're all leaders in our own rights, but everybody has his own style of leadership. But I mentioned to that person that even if you read through the history of West Africa, you see that kingdoms rise and fall. And you hardly get from the same kingdom, you hardly get two leaders that will do the same thing. One leader, one king, powerful king will come and build the empire. Sometimes the weak king will come and the empire will even go. But then this empire continues to endure. So Ike Clark has done his best. It's left for us to believe in his own vision of life and his own philosophy. When my good friend Michael Zakome spoke, he talks about the issue of one-party states. And when you listen to the news, read the show, go through the show media, that's one thing that on an occasion like this, probably one need to. Yes, one-party states, countries have managed one-party states. Yes, one-party state may not be an evil after all, because Julius Nyerere of Tanzania used one-party states to stabilize his country in their early days of independence. It felt that his country has, just like in Nigeria, too many tribes and tongues, two principal religions, Christianity and Islam. If he allowed multi-parties, some parties would toe the lines of religion, some would toe the lines of tribes, and unity would be difficult. But it was properly planned, it was not by accident. If we must, as a nation, go one party, then it must be designed, it must be planned by experts, and we know what we are going in for. But if we come through the back door by political manipulations, then we're heading to crisis. So I will advise that probably a country like Nigeria, it's better we allow the system to stay as it is. Yes, the multi-party, but if we, for some reason, we must go one party, then it should not be an accident. It should not be by political manipulation. Because if you read this book, How Democracies Died by two American professors, then you see that some of these are the symptoms of the death of democracies in nations. And Nigeria is a complex country. And I think it's better we manage the situation as it is. that manipulating the system in a way that will suffocate the country to death. I thank God.
He's continued living that life to the end. I listened to my brother Mike when he talked about, may the labor of our heroes past not be in vain. I'm sorry, I'm happy that Jagawan is here, and I'm happy that Jonathan is here. But I can tell you, their sacrifice is in vain. They've sacrificed for nothing. We're in this country when people were protesting, when there was no need to protest under Jonathan. Where are those protesters? Have they died? Where are they? So why are we saying it should not be in vain? Jonathan increased fuel from 87 naira to 120, and people were protesting in this country. And when it was 900, they were not protesting. Are they dead? So why are we saying it should not be in vain? People protested when naira was 180, and when it was 1,500, they're not protesting. Are they dead? So let's not say it should not be in vain. I spoke a few days ago, and people said I'm demarketing Nigeria. When it's true to be demarketed, World Bank has just shown that 75% of Nigerians in rural areas are poor. Is World Bank demarketing Nigeria? UNICEF 2 days ago released that Nigeria now have over 2 million malnourished children, the second highest in the world. Are they demarketing Nigeria? Let's face the reality. Their labor is in vain. We have a country now that is not democratic. We are not a democratic country. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Is the election that happened in Edo, is it democratic? Just the last election in Edo is the most undemocratic election. Everybody knows who won that election. So why are we keeping it and saying, let your work not be in vain? It is in vain. So we can start picking the pieces now, because they've destroyed everything people have sacrificed for. Look at what is happening in Nigeria today. Above all, Jagawan, you sacrificed everything. The country people sacrifice has turned into a crime scene. All we do today is stealing. You know, and we have to do something. All we need to do is live a courageous life. May God Almighty that called him home grant him eternal rest and grant us the courage to look into what our Father lived for and start picking our pieces.
You can see everything the way it goes. You can see everything that was said in this very video. You will notice that a lot of people were actually coming out back in the days, and some of these days they're actually bashing a lot of Nigerian pastors. People like Pastor Adeboye is being bashed. They actually talked to Pastor Adeboye anyhow, and some other big Nigerian pastors that actually came out in cause of the protest against Goodluck. You know, Tinubu actually led the protest then. That was when Goodluck increased fuel price from around 87 naira to 120 naira. They protested, they did Operation Shut Down Nigeria, and Tinubu led the protest. Tinubu motivated the people, and Adeboye came out for the protest. A lot of big Nigerian pastors actually pull up for the protest, and their members actually pull up. You know, there's not how Pastor Gio or Daddy Gio will actually come out for a protest, and the members will not come out. Now, a lot of people are saying that why is it that when fuel price have now increased to 900 naira in the regime of Tinubu, why is it that the Pastor Adeboye cannot come out? That was why a lot of Nigerian youths are actually bashing Adeboye and some Nigerian pastors, and they're calling Nigerian Christianity scam. They're calling Nigerian churches scam. That's what a lot of people are saying. Now, fuel price increased from the regime of Tinubu to 900 naira. And the same set of people that came out to protest against Jonathan that increased fuel price to around 120 naira, they can't even come out to protest again. Did Tinubu use juju for them? Those are the questions that a lot of people are asking. You can hear what Peter Abi is saying in this very video. Those are the questions that Peter Abi was actually asking in this very video. Peter Abi said he did not mean to offend anybody, but he's just stating the obvious. Why is it that these people cannot talk again? Why are they just silent? Are they benefiting from the fuel price that increased to 9? Are they benefiting from the cost of living that skyrocketed all of a sudden, and Nigerians are languishing in pain and poverty and multidimensional poverty? Are these Nigerian pastors benefiting from it? Are these people that came out for the last protest in the regime of Goodluck, are they benefiting from all this thing? Why is that they can't come out to talk when Tinubu is finally doing everything possible to frustrate the life of the common Nigeria? That's why a lot of people are not giving that respect to many Nigerian pastors and all of that. Now, the same thing is what Peter Abel actually hit on the head in this video that I just finished watching. Now, Goodluck is finally retaliating based on what they did to him back then. You know, the second man is a bitch. They never expected that what goes around can still come around. When they did it to Goodluck Jonathan, then they used that to kick Goodluck out of power. The level of insecurity in the regime of Goodluck is not as even worse as the level of insecurity that is ongoing in Nigeria. In the regime of Goodluck, it was only Boko Haram that we were hearing then. But in Nigeria now, we're hearing different, unknown gunmen. We are hearing bandits. We are hearing a lot of things. ISWAP and all. Things are finally falling apart in Nigeria, and the same Nigerian pastors that came out to protest them, they couldn't even come out to notch a single protest. Now, Peter Abel is saying the same thing, and the Tinubu in question is trying to make Nigeria to be a one-party state, which a lot of people are actually kicking against. You can hear Goodluck saying it in this very video. You can hear him saying everything. You can't turn Nigeria to a one-party system now. A lot of people are deflecting from their party. People deflecting from PDP to APC, and mind you, this guy, I've said it before, Shomole said, once you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. So people that actually stole a lot of money allegedly from PDP, trillions of naira, 1.3 trillion, and all of that, all of them are deflecting to APC because they know that investigation will actually catch up with them. Now, they know that when they're in APC, all this kind of investigation will not be able to catch up with them. And that's what they're doing. That was what Kenneth Okoko said in this very video. They're doing a lot of fraudulent activities, and once they do it, they run to the winning party and they run to the ruling party. And because they run to the ruling party, it will be difficult for them to be investigated. That's the level to which Nigerian system are finally collapsed to. That was what Kenneth Okoko said in this video. Now, drop a opinion at the comment section of this video regarding everything that was said in this video, as I'm gonna dedicate another channel for you and share for you. I'm on social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video, and bye for now.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor with the line on top, he pastor for LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor with the back, where politician with the do pass himself. Leader, why you waiting for church? All as LAJUPOG Watch TV.